Hey everyone, welcome back to Sgcarmart Reviews. So today we're driving the new Lexus RX. So this is the 5th generation of Lexus's flagship SUV, and this is supposed to encompass the latest in style, innovation and technology for the brand. Let's take a closer look. Now, before we start today's review, if you are thinking of trading in your car to buy this new RX, why not try Quotz instead? Quotz helps you sell your car quickly and easily. With the new Quotz doorstep, get a professional inspection by our certified mechanics at your convenience anywhere on the island. Quotz will then auction out your car online to its wide network of dealers to bid on your car. Once bidding is complete, Quotz will update you with their best offer price at no obligation. It's that easy. To find out more, visit quotz.com.sg. That's QUOTZ.com.sg. Now, back to the review.
The Lexus RX is priced from $391,800 to $431,800. The 2.5-litre 4-cylinder engine produces 247 brake horsepower and 239 Nm of torque. The eCVT transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km/h in 7.9 seconds. The Lexus RX has a claimed fuel consumption figure of 17.8 km/L. For more details on the Lexus RX or any other car, head on to sgcarmart.com to help you make a smart choice on your next car.
Now, the design of the new RX is headlined by what Lexus calls its spindle body design. So previously you had something called the spindle grille, right? Whereas if you look now, you can't really tell where the grille kind of ends and where the body begins, because the whole idea is that Lexus is trying to make it a seamless, continuous design. And if you look closely here, you can see that the body color actually extends off into the grille and ends just underneath this badge. Is it particularly pretty? I'm perhaps unconvinced at this point. I actually quite like the spindle grille of the previous generation RX, and this new one, yes, it's a little bit more athletic looking, and it actually, I think, makes the car look a little bit smaller, more compact, more sporty. But you know, I'll take a little bit of time to get used to how it looks. Of course, we also have new look headlights and a reworked front air intakes, stuff like that. Now, if we slide on over to the side, now, again, at the side, we have a slightly sleeker overall silhouette, and I must say, it actually kind of looks like NX, right? If you don't look at the front and you just look at the side, it kind of looks like NX, maybe just a little bit bigger. And I think that's nice, you know, again, it adds to that overall sporty disposition, and again, visually makes the car perhaps look a little bit smaller than its class would suggest. Now, if we head on over to the back, now, at the rear, I actually quite like this clean and simple design headline by this light bar that runs across the width of the car. Now, in terms of boot space, here we have a 612-litre boot, so that's plenty, right? Easily passes the anti-choice length test, will easily fit multiple of these big luggages. And the cool thing is that if you actually need more boot space, you can very easily flip down the rear seats with just one press of a button. That's very convenient, right? So it splits 60-40 and that gives you more space if you need. Here in the rear seats, first thing you'll notice is that there is plenty of legroom. So this car rides on a new platform, and one of the benefits of the new platform is more space in the rear. So as you can see, generous amounts of legroom. Headroom is decent, you know, I'm 1.7 and it's very comfortable. And of course, this is a Lexus, so as you expect, high quality materials and just generally very, very comfortable. And of course, again, this is a Lexus, so you get super plush carpets. Love them. Now, amenities-wise, it's actually quite generous. So we have rear aircon vents, and they are going to be very strong, as you expect from a Toyota Lexus product. We also have 2 USB-C ports, and perhaps more interestingly, we have ventilated seats. So that's awesome, right? So especially for rear passengers on hot days, like today is quite warm actually, it's very nice to have ventilated rear seats. Unfortunately, of course, it's only for the 2 passengers at the side, no ventilated seats in the middle. So if you're sitting in the middle, sucks to be you a little bit. However, I must say, sitting in the middle is still a very comfortable experience. So the floor is not completely flat, but almost flat, and the seat's actually quite wide, so it's nice and comfortable. And you know, sitting here, it's perfectly comfortable. Yes, my sort of gelled up hair is touching the roof a little bit, so you know, maybe for your slightly smaller size friends, but again, this is going to fit 3 people very, very comfortably. Of course, we also have ISOFIX points, so here as well as here, and if you don't have a middle passenger, you can pull down the center armrest, and we have cup holders here as well as a little cubby hole here for storing various stuff. Now let's go jump in the front and check out the rest of the RX. Now, this being a Lexus, it's all about luxury, and it definitely feels expensive in this cabin, right? So we have really nice materials. I like the mix of leather and this suede cloth fabric-like material. And you know, again, that quality of craftsmanship comes through. So even from small details, like you can see the stitching here, a little bit of detailing here, it just all feels very well put together, very carefully put together. And that's something that you really have to appreciate about Lexus cars. Of course, we also have the latest in digitalization. So we have a new 14-inch screen, and this is a massive improvement from before. So this was first seen in the NX, and with a much cleaner, nicer interface. It looks modern, it feels modern, it's easy to operate, and it's just, you know, it helps make this car feel thoroughly modern. We also have this digital cluster here, mostly digital. There's a screen here with some analog displays at the side, and I think the other big change is the head-up display, right? So again, this was first seen in the NX. This is a color head-up display, and you control them using these buttons here. So I think the really neat thing is that while it's just arrows here, actually you can actually see on the head-up display, and it will actually tell you what the different modes are when you put your finger over the respective control. And you will probably need a moment to learn it, but once you learn it, it actually becomes very obvious and very easy to use, and that's just really, really nice. Now, what else? One cool feature again is with the 360 camera. So there's a 360 camera, and when you're driving, there's actually a possibility of showing everything underneath the car, so it gives you actually a transparent view, and that's useful for parking for people who are worried about not being in your lot, stuff like that. We also have, you know, ventilated seats, of course, so that's really nice. Our wireless charging pad. We have a lot of USB-C ports. We have 3 USB-C ports and 1 more USB-A port, so you know, you're never going to run out of USB ports. What else? We have some drive modes here. We have EV mode, so this is a hybrid, so of course you can put it in EV mode for a short while. And we also have Lexus's, well, if you've seen other Lexus's, the compartment that opens both ways, a very, very neat design trick. Other than that, you know, it's a nice cabin. It's what you expect to see, because this was already pretty much what you would find in NX, so it's just, again, transplanted into this particular model. And I do like it. I think it's a big improvement for the Lexus brand overall. And yeah, great space to be in. Now let's go drive this and see how it actually feels on the road. Now, the new Lexus RX is built on a new platform. So this is the TNGA-K platform, and it's supposed to be, you know, more rigid, lighter, lower CG, and, you know, improved refinement. According to Lexus, the new platform is 90 kg lighter than the previous one. Can you feel that weight difference? I'm not sure, because while the platform may be lighter, you know, the rest of the car has more equipment and stuff like that. So does it feel lighter on the road? I'm not sure. I need to drive back to back. However, you do feel that improved refinement, right? I think that's to do with the increased rigidity. So the car feels a lot tighter. It doesn't flex so much, and you know, when you're going around corners, you don't feel the body rolling so much, and that's nice, right? That helps add to that sense of comfort and luxury. And you know, that's, I guess, a key benefit of this new platform. And overall, I must say, it is very comfortable. So we have a new suspension setup. It's very nice over bumps. It's also very quiet when, you know, I'm doing 70 on the highway now, and you don't really hear much road noise at all, right? So overall refinement, I think, is improved from before, and that's a real delight. Now, this car also has Lexus Safety Sense 3.0, so that is Lexus's most updated suite of driver assistance features, right? And it works. It really just works, right? So if you leave everything on, if I drift out of the lane a little bit, you can see that the car is actually turning me back into the lane, and it will keep me in the middle of the lane if I want to. And also, you know, I also like that basically some of your key functions, right, your lane tracing assist, your adaptive cruise control, is just a button away. So if I just hit adaptive cruise, and then it will just do it for me. It will keep me in the middle of the lane, it will keep me a fixed distance from the car in front, and now there's a car cutting into my lane, and it will then start to brake for me just to make sure that I'm safe. And that's good. I like systems where it's just one button push away. I don't really want to be doing too much, right? You don't want to be changing settings all the time. You just want to sort of one button press and go. Now, in terms of performance, this is the 350h. So you have a 2.5 litre hybrid powertrain. So we have 247 brake horsepower, 239 Newton meters of torque, and those are quite modest numbers. So if I put my foot flat down to the floor, it's not super quick. You know, it's a big car, it's not particularly powerful powertrain. However, the upside, of course, with a hybrid and especially with a Lexus hybrid is efficiency, right? So Lexus quotes 17.8 km per litre. I'm now doing 5.6 litres per 100 km, which is better than 17.8 if my sort of vague math are correct. I think it's a realistic number in the sense that if you drive it normally, you can easily be doing 15, 16, no problem at all. And of course, if you're doing a lot of highway driving, I actually think you can get it up to a very respectable number. And that's good, right? For a car this big, this relatively heavy. So, you know, that is a trade-off, right? Not a ton of performance, however, very efficient. And I think the hybrid powertrain, you know, Toyota Lexus, they still, I guess, do the most refined hybrid powertrain, and that comes from doing it for, you know, more than like decades, right? So you can really tell that quality of engineering here. And, you know, overall, I think it's a very, very usable car. You shouldn't be driving this car super quickly all the time anyway. You know, you want to drive it in a smooth, refined manner. And when you do that, it's honestly very nice, very comfortable. The steering is nice and light, easy to maneuver around, and doesn't feel so big, you know. One other cool thing I like is also we have that digital rear view mirror, so you're not going to be blocked by passengers in the rear seat, stuff in the boot. You basically have a camera that will just show you what's behind, and you know, it's very sharp, easy to see, easy to use. Overall, I think this RX is kind of what I expect it to be, right? It's an improvement from the previous generation model and a little bit more refined, a little bit more comfortable, and it's exactly what you want your RX to be. Now, the new Lexus RX 350h, is it a will buy, won't buy, or go try? I think this is definitely a go try. So let's talk about price. So even with the changes to the ARF system recently, this car has an indicative pricing of about 428,000, right? And if you consider other cars in this segment, like things like your Q7, your X5, your GLE, even your XC90, it's a competitive segment, you know, this premium sort of flagship SUV segment. And yet, this car is actually quite a bit cheaper. So with most of these other models, they are much closer to 500. So like 480, 490, your GLE is now 500,000. And so you could say that this is a bit of a deal, right? I mean, it's quite a lot cheaper, you know, 50,000, 60,000 is nothing to sniff at. So the thing with Lexuses of the past, I think, is that while yes, that quality, that refinement was always there, I think it was always perhaps a step behind when it comes to tech, right? You know, it always felt a little bit old-fashioned, I would say. And with this new one, there's no such complaint because you do get, you know, this dual screen setup. It's very modern. Is it the most sort of high-tech premium flagship SUV you can buy today? Perhaps not, but at least it is on par. I would say it's very competitive. It's what you expect from a 2023 premium flagship SUV. And I think that's where Lexus has taken a big step forward. So, of course, when it comes down to it, I think, especially in this premium segment, it's very much a question of taste, right? Whether you like how it looks, you like how it feels. With a Lexus, of course, I think one of the important qualities is that sense of refinement and quality. And I think this RX has that, right? It's better than before. It's more comfortable, it's more efficient, it's nicer to drive, it's a much nicer space to be in. And yeah, as a result, I think it's definitely one of those things where go try it out and see whether this car is for you. So that's it for our review of the new Lexus RX. Do remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and of course also hit the notification bell so you will be alerted of all our upcoming videos. And check us out on TikTok at Sgcarmart for some fun, exciting content. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you soon. Bye! The latest in the brand's style. Doorstep, get professional inspection by... Now we of course also have new look headlights, we have let's do that again. Now in terms of boot space, I cannot remember the number. I think it's 621. Driver assistance system again.